Tu wasn't alive during the war that carries his country's name. A war that ended 40 years ago, but its effects, its contamination, says his mother, has robbed the 7-year-old of a normal life. But much more than that, it will kill him. Just like it killed his sister, Nuong. She was 7 when she died from the same blood disease that Tu suffers from. His father works at Danang Airport, a site where U.S. military planes were loaded with Agent Orange during the war. A defoliant that contains dioxin, a chemical that causes birth defects, cancer, and other diseases, which can be passed on from parents.
I wish that the US will fully decontaminate where Agent Orange was sprayed. We have suffered from this. I don't want this for future generations.
The physical reminders of the war in Danang are few, like this museum courtyard. But the dark legacy left by the weapons used is clear and distinct. And those who are working with Agent Orange victims are focused on limiting the effects of dioxin contamination in a 4th generation.
With the first generation who served in the army, they got cancer and died. Their children also became sick and died. The 3rd generation, some know about Agent Orange, so they don't have children.
But they want more people to know about the impact of dioxin and expand early detection through technology like using ultrasound machines during pregnancies. Some of the Agent Orange that rained down on South Vietnam's jungles was stored and loaded at the former U.S. military base in Danang, a so-called dioxin hotspot, now the site of the commercial airport. The first American-funded cleanup began just 3 years ago. A hugely complex process, it superheats the contaminated soil in a massive furnace. A touchy subject for the Americans, they still dispute Hanoi's figure that 3 to 4 million Vietnamese have been affected by the chemicals.
What for Vietnamese are one of their biggest concerns, which is environmental pollution. And our cooperation is hitting this historical legacy, but just in terms of dioxin, there are other sources in Vietnam.
Regardless of the source, the current generation's suffering are solely focused on survival.
The thing I want most is the goodwill of all people to do everything medically, like blood transfusions, to keep my boy alive as long as possible.
And Tu's medical needs recently intensified. He now undergoes 2 transfusions a week. While his mom hopes future generations see the dark legacy of Agent Orange come to a close, her family lives day to day. Scott Heidler, Al Jazeera, Danang.